Hello, I'm Ahron Young, the CEO and founder of TICKER News. We are broadcasting live from the International Broadcasting Convention here in Amsterdam 2022. Let's talk about the future of news gathering in this new broadcasting and streaming world we find ourselves in after a few years, of course, of the pandemic. For more, let's bring in Morten Brandstrup, head of Newstechnology at TV2 in Denmark. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for being here.
Obviously, so much excitement. At the very beginning, you're number one guest here for us today as well. What's changed over the past few years between drinks here at IBC?
Well, there's been quite a lot of new stuff coming in technology-wise. I think that's definitely much more the whole IP, cloud world, and so on is now not just something we talk about, but it's actually reality. But it's
for quite some time, IP was something which was a little bit terrifying for a lot of traditional broadcasters, in particular, getting away from cables and moving into a cloud.
It's still very scary because what do I know? I'm a good old broadcast guy, and that's still, we have a steep learning curve to actually get into this whole IP world and understand how it actually influences our production. And the same as a cloud-wise services, all that stuff. That have a huge impact on how we produce in the future.
Yeah.
But learning it, that's tricky.
It's moving so quickly. First you have to teach yourself, and then you have to teach the team.
Exactly, and we need really a lot of new skills, and that skill set is probably one of our biggest challenges. It's not necessarily the technology as such, but how we adapt, and being responsible also for the newsroom is not only the technical, the technology part, but also the human factor in the newsroom. What task is it that we want to let the technology take over and so on? What is really the core part of being a reporter, and what should be left for technology to solve?
A lot of media companies, a lot of companies in general move towards technology and embrace technology because they see efficiencies. Are we seeing efficiencies created by the technology that we're seeing at the moment when you talk about IP, or is it becoming more difficult as the technology becomes more difficult?
Well, I think we're in a process, because I believe and I can see that there is the possibility for the technology to actually make that kind of assisted systems where it will take over some of the tasks. But as it also is technology that we have to build up, we are spending some of the resources in the back end of the system to build that new machine.
So in terms of changes, you mentioned IP. What else has, I guess, been leapfrogged thanks to COVID, where suddenly people are at home, suddenly people are changing the way they view content, they stream content, they listen to content. How does a traditional broadcaster like TV2 Denmark cope with that?
Well, for our customer, the consumer's part of it, it's really about moving everything in direction of the online. It's either beyond free, we have a huge website with web news, which is the biggest one in Denmark, but also the whole OTT platform. So that's the whole focus for our news production is being real digital.
And the cloud's great because so many people are working from home.
Yeah.
So for me as a broadcaster, I can literally, obviously the biggest story at the moment is about Queen Elizabeth passing away. I'm based here in Amsterdam, my team's based in Australia, and I'm able to produce the content from anywhere. That was unheard of not so long ago.
Exactly, and that whole as a remote way of working, that we can work from anywhere, will, especially for news, really change a lot in how we produce the content and who is doing the different tasks.
So which direction would you say we're heading in at the moment? So if you could look into your crystal ball, where do you think the industry will be in 5 years? Will broadcasting over traditional methods, we're talking about satellite, we're talking about TV towers on top of mountains, etc., or will it move to 5G and in the cloud and a streaming world?
It will be definitely a lot more streaming, but the thing is that 5 years ago we thought that the flow television will be dead because of cable cutting and all this stuff. And the reality is that people are watching more linear TV than ever.
Yeah.
But it's on streaming platform. So there's a huge demand for what we do, but it's just on different ways that it's being broadcast and published.
An eyeball is an eyeball, Morten.
Exactly, and that's what we have to serve despite where they are. And I mean, we are looking into a new generation who have no clue about the flow television, but we also have to serve them, Generation Z, on whatever platform they are on, TikTok, Snapchat, and on all the other.
So more everywhere, essentially growing out rather than up and down.
Yeah, and that's a tricky part of, as a manager in a newsroom, that you cannot focus only on a single output. You have to serve the amount of eyeballs, and you have to be where they are present. And that's different. That means that from the newsroom, we have to serve as a new outputs, is adding every year. I mean, and that's just how it is.
A massive task.
Yeah, and that also means that we have to be more efficient in the old, the traditional broadcast, flow television and so on, have to be much more efficient, because it's those resources that we have to reuse for other output.
All right.
Most of us won't get more resources, so we just have to be more efficient.
Do more with less.
Serve it.
Yeah. Morten, appreciate your time. Thank you so much. That is the program for now. I'm Ahron Young. Thank you so much for watching. You can catch up with more Ticker News. Head to tickernews.com.